Okay, the second form they can take is what's called colonial algae. And colonial algae is where you have single-celled algae that stick together. And a lot of times they look like a string of pearls because they're stuck end to end. It is easier and a lot more productive very often for single-celled algae to behave in this manner because they're more coordinated as a group as opposed to being individual cells. And your example for an algae that behaves in this manner is Volvox. So even though Volvox looks like it's multicellular, it's not. It's a lot of different unicellular cells stuck together. Okay, our third is our filamentous algae. Now, our filamentous algae are multicellular and they are slender, rod-shaped, and this is our seaweeds. The body of the seaweed is actually called a thallus. Now, they don't have true roots, stems, or leaves, so they can't be in the plant kingdom. But these types have more than one color. Some of them are going to be referred to by their pigments, and as we go through, there's a lot of problem in classifying these because they have so many different criteria. So not only do they have different pigments, but they also have different means of storing their food. We store our food as glycogen, and plants store their food as glucose, but with algae, they store it in a lot of different ways. So these are going to be categorized according to their pigment. Now, let me just say that the dominant pigment in all of these algae, is chlorophyll, but their secondary pigments allow them, because they're aquatic, to pick up different wavelengths in the water, and that's going to be the pigment that gives them their color. So your plant-like protists are classified into 7 phyla, and I know that's a lot. I told you this was one of those kingdoms of a lot of phyla, and we had 4 of them on our animal-like. Well, we have 7 of them on our plant-like. The good news is the fungus-like only have 2. So there's not going to be, this is going to be your largest group of phyla. And they have to classify them according to what their pigment is. So know that anything that ends in phyta means plant. So if you're asked, or if you see in multiple choice for a plant-like, algae phyla, pick something that has the end of it as phyta, because the phyta means it's plant. The first part of it very often signifies the type of secondary pigment that they have. So they're classified into 7 phyla. Their pigments, the way they store their food, they don't all store their food in the same manner, and their cell wall composition. So as we go through them, I'm going to try to bullet those particular highlights and give you something that's kind of unique about all of them to help you remember them.